Hi friends, I'm excited to share a new layout with you today for the Shimmerz Paints design team. I am using the November Color Kitz, and I absolutely love everything about these kits. The colors are fabulous and vibrant and very much have all of those fall vibes, and I loved using this to make a Thanksgiving layout. So the first thing I did is I pulled one of the patterned papers, and I knew I was going to be using it to back some letters that I'm going to cut out of the background. So I went ahead and added a little bit of the blue Shimmerz. It's called Teal, the End of Time, super cute name. And it's a beautiful kind of navy, and I loved how it looked with that patterned paper. And then I also took the Christmas Cheer Shimmerz, and that is from the bonus bundles in the November kit. And I added a little bit of yellow to that pattern paper as well. And the reason for this is I wanted a little bit more solid of a background for the letters. I didn't want to cover up the patterned paper, but I just wanted it to look a little bit more solid color. So that was why I added those paints, and you'll kind of see why in a few minutes. But here what I'm doing is I am using the packaging technique, and I am adding the paints from the color kits this month, and all of these colors are fantastic. So that first one that I added was the Vibes Pumpkin Pie, and it's a super great orange color, and it definitely screams pumpkin pie for sure. It's that vibrant orange that you would get in the color of a pumpkin. And then that second one, that more red color, is a colorings, and it's called Ready or Red E or Not. So that is a super cute little name there. And I love the deep red of that color. It matches the deep reds in the pattern papers really nicely. And then here, this color that I'm using, again, is the Shimmerz Christmas Cheer. That's my favorite yellow ever. So when I need a yellow shimmery color, that's my go-to color, is Shimmerz Christmas Cheer. So that's one you should definitely have in your collection if you don't have it right now. And you can't really tell right now what I'm doing on that background, but I have cut letters from the patterned paper. So I used Foundation's white mixed media cardstock, and I cut my title out, but I left it all there on my cutting mat so that I could add some color to the background before I lifted it up. So the title is going to be Passing On the Family Secrets. And so that has already been cut, and you'll see here in a minute when I start picking the paper up. You can kind of start seeing it lifts a little bit because I'm adding so much wet medium to it. And there you can really start to tell. But you'll see it when I pick it up here in a second. And then that blue, again, was the Shimmerz Teal, the End of Time. And I'm just going back and adding some splatters. And at first I thought I would keep the color just kind of down at the bottom around the title, but then I decided that I was going to want the color to kind of peek out above my photos. So I went back and kind of added some more color towards the top of the background as well. But right now I'm just adding some splatters, that's what I'm trying to say. And then again, I add a little more of that Vibes Pumpkin Pie over there, because I definitely want you to get the feel of Thanksgiving, and these colors are perfect for that. Really any good fall layout that you have. It reminds me of the colors of leaves for sure. So I'm just adding a little bit here and there because I don't want it to look too perfect. And I love how when I add big dollops of color with the splatters, once they dry, I love the circles of shimmer that you get once it's dried. I love how that looks. So I'm going to set that off to let it dry once I get all the color on. I'm not there yet. Got to add a little bit more of that red. That was the colorings. And the Vibes, that pumpkin pie, it does have a little bit of beautiful shimmer. And then of course the Shimmerz, all of the other colors, the Shimmerz colors that I'm using have beautiful, beautiful shimmery bits in them. So here you can see I'm kind of raising it up a little bit. And I did throw in some of the Shimmerz Here I Am. That's also in the color kits. So that's an orange sparkly color. And then here you can see as I lift up, so I'm going to be using this piece as my background here. And you can see that I've cut the title out of it. So then I'm going to take those 2 pieces of paper that I had started with, and I'm going to go ahead and cut those little strips because those are going to act as the backing of those letters. And now you can kind of see why I wanted it to be a little bit more solid color and not so much patterned, like a really stark white pattern there. And I love that red and white polka dot patterned paper. Oh my gosh. That's super cute for fall. It will also be super cute for Christmas layouts because it's just so pretty. And the paper, if you haven't heard me say it before, is super thick, fantastic quality paper. Okay, so I added the glue to the back, and then what I'm doing with the napkin there is I'm just kind of going and adding off just the little touches of glue that kind of squished out once I added that paper on the back. And I'm adding glue, adhering it to the back, and then I will add just a little bit of tape. You'll see me do that here in a second, just for the edges to make sure that they're all good and stuck down, because I don't want those backing pieces to get ripped off, like when I'm trying to put it in a sleeve protector or something, or a page protector. And then there's the yellow, and then here this orange. Oh my gosh, I love this orange pattern paper. But you can see it's very stark orange and white patterned, which is beautiful. But that would be hard to read if I was backing letters with it. So I'm just going to go, I'm not covering up all that pattern. You still see those beautiful snowflakes and kind of that plaid pattern behind the letters. But by just toning down the white a little bit with a little bit of orange, it helps to act more as a solid to go behind those words. I'm going to dry that here. And there I'm adding tape. And this is a super quick and easy, really, this is a quick and easy process, quick way to back some letters. If I had tried to go letter by letter, would have been really cute, but also would have taken forever. And probably been a little bit harder to read since I have so many colors on the background. Okay, so here you can see it is still a little bit difficult to read. So what I'm going to do to help with that, well, first I'm going to go and add in the centers of all the letters, like the center of the P, the center of the A, all those little bits that are left on my cutting mat. I have all the centers of those letters that I'm going to go ahead and glue on. And one little trick for that is I put back in the whole letter. So I put the whole letter back in and then put the center piece where it goes. So like, for example, on the A, I put the whole letter A back into the place where it was cut out to tell me where I need the center of that A to go. So then I glue the center and then take the A back out. So that kind of helps me with the placement of it. And then there you saw to help, now you can see, all of a sudden you can see what it says. I did that with a black Sharpie. So I just took a black Sharpie and then traced on the inside of each letter, just around the edge. And now all of a sudden it's so much easier to read. So that's just a little trick when you have kind of a lot going on, a lot of color, and you need it to stand out and have a little bit more contrast. That's one way that you can do that. You could also trace around the outside of it or something like that if you wanted to, but I love how it looks. It kind of just added, almost like it added a shadow, and it makes it so much easier to read. Okay, and here what I'm doing with my ruler is I'm just giving myself a line where I know I want my photos to kind of sit. And I'm going to add just a little bit of patterned paper to act as a shelf for those photos to sit on. And I'm just winging it, kind of doing it by hand. And giving myself a line. And I just traced the edges of it. So I'm going to add that red and white polka dot. I'm going to glue that down, and I am using wet glue. You saw me use also my tape runner. So the tape runner helps with just sticking it down in place for the, right now, but the wet glue is to make sure it sticks down permanently. And then I'm going to get my photos lined up here. I will add another little piece of pattern paper, the orange patterned paper. I go back and add a little strip on top of that just for a little bit more detailing. And then these photos, I love these photos. So there's 2 photos of my mom teaching my niece Hallie how to make her homemade yeast rolls. So they are for sure the shining star of our Thanksgiving meal is my mom's rolls. And so she was passing on the secrets of the rolls to my niece. And then my husband, there's 2 pictures of my husband with my son, and he is teaching him how to spatchcock the turkey, and then also how to put the butter and the seasoning and all of that underneath the skin so that he gets a nice, juicy, perfect turkey every time. And then there's 2 pictures of me with my daughter, and I am teaching her how to make our family 7-Up pound cake. So that is the whole title, Passing on the Family Secrets, is each of us passing on some secrets to the next generation. So teaching them how to make our special family things. So I love these photos. And it was important to me that the title really hit home, like what those pictures are. So I have the 2 pictures, like the 2 pictures of my daughter and me together, and then the 2 pictures of my son and my husband together, and then my mom and my niece. And then here I went through all of the ephemera in the November Color Kitz and pulled out all of the little pieces that I wanted to use to really speak to all of the colors that I have on the background. So there are pumpkins and flowers and leaves and all kinds of beautiful goodness. There's even the cutest little red mushroom that I add in there. So lots of little cute pieces. And then I also have those epoxy stickers, the flare, that match the colors that came in the color kits. So I've got those there. And I kind of tuck that in right there on a little piece of craft foam. And then each of those pieces of ephemera, I do end up spending some time and going and cutting off all of the white edges, like even this little banner that says thankful. I cut off all of those white edges. And that's a step you could definitely skip. A lot of people leave on the white edges on pieces of ephemera, but I just think, especially like in the middle of a cluster of flowers and pumpkins and leaves and all those things, like you wouldn't, if you were doing a bouquet or something like that, you wouldn't have white edges around all those things. So I like it to look as real as possible as you can make it look with, as real as you can make it look with paper and ephemera. But I do, for me, I definitely almost always, not always, but almost always cut off the white edges. And then I tucked in another little piece of flare up at the top. And I did all of that trimming of those pieces off camera because it would be really super boring to watch. And then here I'm adding in some thread in the coordinating colors, like that blue. The blue color that is in the kits this month is just gorgeous. So I picked some of the lighter, some thread that matches the lighter shades of the blue, like in the blue pumpkin that's up there. And then I also add in some yellow tangled thread at the top and the bottom. I do most of that off camera. And then here I am adding just a little tag at the top. So it's going to go just to the right of that cluster that's up there, and I kind of I use some pattern paper to make a little border around it to kind of give it a little bit more weight. If I had just put a piece of white tag or it's actually cream colored tag up there, it would kind of get lost. But by putting that red border around it, it kind of helps it stand out a little bit. And then I added some yellow thread, mustard thread to that. And then that just lists, that's not all of my journaling. It's just the 3, it says homemade rolls, 7-Up cake, and juicy turkey. So that's the 3 things, the family secrets that we're passing on for the 3 dishes that we're passing on the secrets about. And then down here at the bottom, I'm adding some lines and I am adding my journaling. And then my journaling says, passing on the family secrets is so super special. These dishes make our family Thanksgiving what it is. Hallie, Maxwell, and Ruby, learning the traditions is everything. So I love that. And I'm just doing that, adding that journaling with a blue pen that matches the color blue that I have on the layout. And then these numbers right here that I'm adding, those, I think that's actually a Hip Kit Alpha. So those are just from my stash. And this is from these pictures are from 2023. So I am adding just the year right there to make sure I have all the details that we'll need when I go back and look at these layouts, or my family goes back and looks at these layouts in, like 20 years. We'll be like, when was this? What year was this? So there's that. And then I pulled out the sequin mix from the bonus bundle. And it is absolutely gorgeous. I love, it has all of the perfect shades. So like that perfect navy, it's kind of like a teal navy blue. And then the red, that's like a burnt red almost. And then some of the mustard and the orange. It's just perfect. There's all the colors in there. And I love how if you get the color kits and the bonus bundle, like you have, it all is coordinated. Everything, you don't have, takes the guesswork out of it. You don't have to try to figure that out. And then I added some pops of color as the last little detail. And I did just the red, the blue, and the orange, I think, or gold. And I do most of that off camera. And then there is the finished layout. If you have any questions, please let me know while the close-ups come up. You can pop a comment down in the comments. And then don't forget, if you place a Shimmerz order, if you put my name, Sarah Millerhouse, in the comment section of your order, you get a free gift. And that's always super fun. So I hope you guys have an awesome day. Have a happy Thanksgiving if you celebrate that. And have a great week. Bye.